can't blame her for what her mama gave her. It ain't right to hate her for working that money maker. Band's just down at 2, but we're hanging out.
Making Kraft mac and cheese wrong my entire fucking life. Well, according to TikTok anyway. Fill it with fucking water so you just cover the noodles. On the fucking stove. Have a fucking stick of coagulated fat. Medium heat. Then add your fucking cheese sauce. Yes, do it now. Once it goes, go to low heat. Stir it a fucking lot. Keep fucking stirring that shit. When it starts to fucking look like this, fucking quarter of a cup of cow primer. Keep that shit going till it's nice and sticky. You have got to be shitting me. That looks incredible. Look at that shit, dude. What? Dude, making it this way is a straight up fucking game changer. Next time I'm gonna leave the milk out though.
I've been free falling out of wonder into something real. Night calling out to nothing but sex and appeal. Baby, pull me closer, body softer than a conversation. Show me how you whisper to the constellation. Honesty and all of the honey. We pollinated our apologies and ate all the gummies. I dominated the sun and you waited on me, a biological obligation. Show me how you whisper to the constellations.
God almost certainly does not exist. But if it does, and it is all-knowing, meaning it knows everything that ever was, is, and ever will be, then it is responsible for all of the evil in the universe. Don't worry, I'll explain. So if you believe God exists, that means that you believe in a time where humans did not exist, because God had not yet created us. At that point in time, an all-knowing God would know for a fact that if it did create humans, they would be evil. Evil in air quotes because morality is actually subjective, but it knew that they would be awful to their planet, awful to other species on their planet, awful to their own species, and arguably most importantly, awful to God because they would break its precious little nonsensical rules. But God still created us. Here's an example to consider. If you knew, not guessed, not hypothesized, not assumed, but you knew undoubtedly, assuredly, 100% for a fact that if you had a child, that child would grow up to be a mass unaliver, and you still decided to have that child, you would be a terrible person. That same standard should apply to God, and as far as I'm concerned, it does. So, since God knew it was bringing evil into the universe, and it decided to do it anyway, God is evil. Oh, and if you think the free will excuse gets God out of this one, you're wrong, because free will is incompatible with an all-knowing God. If God is omniscient, then it knows how we're going to act in advance. Everything that we do has to align with God's foreknowledge, meaning that our free will is actually just an illusion. Either God is all-knowing, or we have free will. Both cannot simultaneously be true, and this argument supposes the former over the latter. The only way that the free will excuse actually works here is if God is not all-knowing. So, if you're willing to admit that your God is not as powerful as you ascribed it to be, then, and only then, will the free will excuse be applicable. But again, this video was about a God that is all-knowing. On that note, I'm going to be over here being good without God, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.
Has a high-res hood, as you can see, if you want to be really visible, but at the same time, this hood is removable if you want to rock more of a collared look, but at the same time, there is a black hood that you could use instead of the high-res orange if you just wanted to be less visible. Now, it also has, almost every jacket has a little part that opens up right here, right, for you to open up and roll up your sleeve. Mine's a little bit different. Instead of putting it on the bottom, we slightly put it on the side. The reason for us doing that is if you were wearing a watch or your Apple Watch, you could simply turn and you'd still be able to use it at any point while wearing your jacket. Or if you wanted, you could also stretch this down and use it as a thumb hole. If you were riding a motorcycle, a scooter, a bicycle, anything like that, and you didn't want your jacket flying up on you, but you didn't want to use these as a thumb hole, you can use this right here, which is an elastic draw cord, to be able to put it around your thumb so your sleeve won't fly up on you. This jacket also has a couple of unique pockets on it. Number one, it has this gigantic pocket on the side here, big enough to hold an entire iPad. And it also has a separate pocket on the inside there, on the inside right here, that I call a cell phone pocket or like a glasses pocket, to be able to keep everything secure and separate from each other. It has these big side pockets on the side here that your hands can go into, but as you see, it has these zipper pockets that I call this a drink pocket, because it stands your drink almost perfectly up while you're still walking, so you can stay hands-free if you needed to. So let's see what else. There's other stuff I'm missing on this jacket too. Oh, it also has the double zipper on the bottom. So basically this opens up on the side like this, so as you sit down, instead of your jacket bunching up as you sit down and it creasing all weird, making these weird bumps and creases, you simply unzip this before you sit, and now when you sit, your jacket opens up and stays fresh looking. So I think that's everything about the jacket. Yeah. Do you like it? Let me know. Ding!
More things about the US map that make me laugh. First of all, this whole thought process started because somebody on Twitter pointed out that Arkansas is a landlocked state, but you can still get to any of its bordering states by traveling south, which sounds impossible until you look at Arkansas. Bro, why are you shaped like that? Vermont and New Hampshire kind of look like a divorced couple who, instead of one of them moving out, they literally just drew a line down the middle of their house, and they just live like that. It looks like Oregon, Washington, and Montana were in like a really messy love triangle, and Idaho got really tired of hearing them fight all the time, so in the night it kind of just slid on up there, and now they can't talk to each other anymore. Also, why does Massachusetts have like an upside down T-Rex arm coming off the side of it? Or is it a backward velociraptor toe? Either way.
I'm not trans, but I think trans rights are human rights. I don't understand this disconnect of why do I have to convince you to care? It's a crazy thing. And you know what I used to get a lot? Well, why do you care so much? Huh? Why don't you care so much? It's the religious supremacy interlocked with American individualism. Well, it doesn't affect me. But you operate under this, the whole idea of Christianity is to be Christ-like, to care more for your brother or your neighbor than you care for yourself. Selflessness and righteousness, to walk the path of Jesus Christ. How? Logically, and this is why I have I lack respect for a lot of American Christians, is because you can't hold those faiths, you can't hold those ideals under your faith and then vote the way you do. It's hypocritical and it's counterintuitive and it makes no fucking sense. It just grinds me. It grinds my gears.
It takes a while to come out. Don't worry, I did too. And then we drain the... Look, what? I don't want to do this! Make sure to clean your Grindomat. I'm not concerned about your precious Grindomat. This is food for sheep and people who do yoga. Now, I've never seen a ginger nut, but I assume it's roughly the same as a blonde or a brunette. What part of Italy are you from? Kentucky? I could never be a millionaire. I'd end up buying like 3,000 Pop-Tarts. Or ducks. I quite like ducks. Seems they enjoyed baking in more than one sense of the word. No times must be tough when your biscuits start getting model numbers. 4. Pound cake is one of my favorite things to do, but I'm single, so it's been a while. No clue. I've never made a date cream before.
How am I just finding out that those stupid ass chairs that they give you in the dorm rooms?
This is what I'm referring to. How instead of just being a normal chair, they but they don't rock. They just give you heart attacks. How am I now just finding out that those are anti-unaliving chairs? Because too many students were using the chairs to... What? You know how you prevent that? You come real close. Lower the tuition. Hope this helps.
Okay, so what are the downsides to doing top surgery drain-free? So when we do top surgery drain-free, we're not just leaving out the drains and hoping for the best. It is definitely a technique, and you have to know how to do the technique. So in traditional drain or top surgery with drains, we just remove the breast, pull the edges of the skin together. There's a space left behind it. It forms fluid, so we have to put a tube into it. With the drain-free technique, we're removing the breast tissue and not just pulling the skin together, but we're shutting everything down on the inside to get rid of the dead space so the fluid doesn't form. So in the comments, I've seen a few things like the downsides are seroma. That's definitely not true. Science has proven that's not the case. You don't have an increased risk of seroma with drain-free top surgery. You don't have an increased risk of hematoma or bleeding. In fact, it seems to be lower. But what are the downsides? So I would say the number one downside is availability. It's not very common. The surgeon has to know the technique. You can't ask your surgeon just to skip the drains. They have to be trained in it and know how to do it properly. And there is a little bit of a learning curve there as well. So 95% of my patients have to fly in for their surgery. And unfortunately, that is the case with a lot of gender affirmation surgery in this day and age. So availability is probably the biggest downside. Number 2, time. It does take a little bit of extra time in the operating room to do this because we're not just closing up the skin, we're closing all the dead space on the inside. So that involves on both sides plenty of dissolvable stitches. So you have stitches on stitches in there. Stitches, you can't see them from the outside, they go away on their own, but definitely it adds in probably 15 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on the surgeon of time you'll be under anesthetic. Typically, I do top surgery in about 2 hours overall, just to give you an idea. And I believe it's worth it. Gets you out of the binder sooner, gets you showering sooner. You don't have to have the drains out, and the other health benefits of drain-free top surgery we talked about earlier.
I've started looking at cops in public the way that straight people look at gay couples in public.
How was Adam Sandler with the they them pronouns?
He's really great. He asks questions. Oh, when we're shooting the B'nai Mitzvah scene, he said, how would the DJ say this? You wouldn't say he or she's becoming an adult. I was like, yeah, you would just say, oh, they're becoming an adult. And he's like, oh, right, that makes sense. He's the best.
Love that. Everybody learn from Adam Sandler. You just have to ask in a nice way.
Yeah.
Because I think people are scared to talk about it.
Even I'm scared to talk. Yeah. Even like as a queer non-binary person, I go, oh God, he genuinely supports it.
Adam Sandler, queer icon.
What a queer icon. What a mensch.
What
truly.
a mensch.
It's from 1969. Hey, I'm no mathematician, but I'm not sure how this whole bag's gonna fit in here, Mildred. I'm crunched for your trauma. Gee, this sure is vibrant. Nebraska! I know! Oh, I know! You see, this is where you lose me. I feel like I'm waiting to be hanged. When people seem to think it's from the 50s, but it's not. It's more so typical of the 70s or the 80s or a psychopath. I reckon this is a heavy pan. Heavy with the burden of whatever crime it is I'm going to commit. Anyway, this is rather dense. Well, this is already critically disturbing. Now, this recipe is from Nebraska. Nebraska, are you okay? Mix until you cry. Whatever was wrong starting your middle school mornings crying over a sad bowl of oatmeal. That was character building. Good old liquid cardboard. You know, cabbage is one of those things I have nothing else to add. Lastly, we have a half cup of nuts. At least the recipe is self-aware, because I think this is troubling, like clinically, or you were subject to a fall from a great height. You, ma'am, are motivated by anger and anger alone. Today we're serving up hot beige. Come get your bowl of brown. Is my clock dead? It is now. Trying to say you're a little messed up, Teresa from Memphis, Tennessee. Yes, you can make buttercream by hand. I do everything by hand. I'm very lonely. You know, in the story of my life, lard is the closest thing I've ever had to a nemesis. Is this the magic part? Do a trick! Good morning. That's a lie. Hopefully it'll be pink. Next up is 3 eggs beaten. Put them up! I feel like I'm waiting to be hanged. And for about 3 minutes. Yeah, it's milky. We need to create a flat bottom. Let me get some reference. So I've never made a fruitcake, but if you're anything like me, you are one. I need to flour the nuts with 3/4 of a cup of flour. You know, I do prefer them defloured. What do? Panic! This is a depression meatloaf, which happens to be what I call myself when I'm wrapped in blankets at 2 a.m. watching Netflix covered in Pop-Tart crumbs. But anyway, and that's how these will last longer than even the most talented of men.
I'm walking sex, pedal to the metal with a discotheque.
I decided to do what any other drag queen would do at a show like this, and I'm going to give a PowerPoint presentation. Is that okay? On TV characters that you didn't know were black! Now, how does a character qualify for this list? Well, it's 2 very simple rules. 1, it has to be surprising to a majority of people that the character is black. And 2, the character must be fictional. I'm not going to be like, did you know that Kid Connor from Heartstopper is actually not my jerk? No. The real first one is Janice from the Muppets. No. Oh, you think that's yarn? Those are micro locks for me, okay? She's wearing a protective style, but she still wants something that she can swish around. And the reason that her eyes are always closed is because if she ever opened them, she would have eyes brighter than the blue sky, and she would give you a lethal light skin stare, okay? Now, you're probably wondering, Avery, what is the light skin stare? Well, I'll tell you. The light skin stare is a seductive stare most commonly given by light-skinned black men. Fun fact, the light skin stare kills more people per year than shark attacks. It's true. If a light-skinned man is rizzing you up, call an ambulance. Second is Slider from Ghostbusters. I have an uncle that looks just like this, and so do you. His name is Rick, he has a mild heart condition, and he is a Republican that votes against his own interests, okay? Third, all of the backyardigans. Uniqua, we already knew that bitch was black. Her name is fucking Uniqua, okay? Now Tyrone is a first-generation American. Both of his parents are from Jamaica. He speaks fluent patois. Tasha is my fashion girl. Her mother is the regional manager at Rainbow, and she gets all of the hottest pickings. She is the only backyardigan that has both gotten into and won multiple fights, okay? Also, she is gonna grow up to be Flat a Boss. That's the girl on TikTok that goes, hello, Christ. I'm not That's her! She makes it to the RuPaul's Drag Race finale, and they say, what would you say to 4-year-old Flat a Boss in this photo? Next slide. Pablo's Dominican. Next slide. Austin. He is the founder of the light skin stare. This child has the light skin stare. You're probably wondering, what is the light skin stare? Now, the light skin stare. It kills more people per year than Tyler Perry movies, it's true. You're probably wondering, Avery Goodman, who is the 4th character on your list? Next slide. It's you. Every single one of you is black. Now this may be a surprise to some of you, but it should be a surprise to all of you. If you remember, there were 2 rules. There were 2 things that were necessary for you to make this list. 1, and be surprising to a majority of people that you're black. But the other one is that you had to be a fictional character. None of you are real. You are all figments of my imagination from my big, juicy, feminine brain. And when I get off this stage, you will all cease to exist, okay? I win!
Honestly, if we're really doing this again, then I got some shit I need to get off my chest, okay? First off, those motherfuckers at the shipping warehouse have some complaints about me. I've got some complaints about them too, okay? First of all, Cheryl at the desk changes her mind about how she wants us to do things every 10 minutes. But somehow I'm the bad guy for wanting to do things by the book and not being able to keep up with her erratic bullshit. Secondly, needs to get the fucking stick out of his ass. Yeah, I took off the work shirt for about 10 minutes because it was 97 degrees outside, humid as hell, and the AC was busted. I am trapped in this little metal box all day, and I'm sorry, but $16 an hour isn't fucking worth heat exhaustion. I'm so bad at this job, apparently. These two always have something to say, but they were clamoring to have me move back here when I was over at the other building. Fuck both of them. Their mothers should have swallowed them. But now let's get on to the two of you, okay? First off, seems like no matter what I do, it's never good enough. You always have something to say. So I'm going to ask you a question. You have been here for 6 years. 6 motherfucking years, and yet you suck at your job and don't know your ass from a hole in the ground. So what's your excuse? In fact, no, don't even talk. What even is your job, Mr. Account Manager? You make phone calls and answer emails, and occasionally you'll drive down here and grace us fucking peasants with your presence and regale me with all the stupid bullshit and made-up excuses as to why I can't get a raise. Fuck you. A second grader could do your job. You could be replaced with AI tomorrow and none of us would notice. Actually, no, we would notice because suddenly our lives would be a hell of a lot less stressful. Fuck you. And you are a supervisor. How is it that you are late every single goddamn day? My shift ends at 3 o'clock. Not 3:10, not 3:15, not 3:05. 3 o'clock. Y'all expect me to be here at 7 a.m. on the motherfucking dot, but you can just stroll in whenever the fuck you feel like it. I waited here for almost an hour yesterday, and you did not answer your phone, and you knew goddamn well that I had a fucking appointment after work, but I guess that just didn't matter to you. Honestly, you know what? Here, this little piece of paper right here, that's my 2 weeks. I was gonna give it to you when you fucking showed up at 3, but I guess that's not necessary right now. Fuck both of you, I'm done.
You ruined everything, you stupid bitch.
Is that a leaf? Are you a leaf? You look like a leaf, but you're walking. Are you a walking leaf? But I don't understand. Why would a leaf want to walk? You should be in a tree, leaf. Daddy, come and see. Where are you going, walking leaf? Come here, Daddy. Quickly!
Give me back my $1 dues!
Daddy, come and see! Goodbye. Have fun.
I dug my key into the side of this pretty little souped-up four-wheel drive. Carved my name into his leather seats. I took a Louisville.
One person's not drunk?
Yeah, he moves like a box. You can't blame him.
Yeah. And we might be tricking you.
Ooh.
Or can a drunk person do this?
All right, guys, our next test, I'm gonna size each one of you guys up. It's a stress test. We're gonna pretty much have a stare off. Now pay attention to this. You're telling on yourself, John Wick. Jetta, let's go. Hesitation, huh?
Go Savage!
All right, let's go right here. All right, we're gonna see if you can get this out of my hand.
They just start kissing.
They're both drunk.
Body pass, get out of here. Dreamy eyes.
I'm coming.
Ooh. You just get this ball out of my hand.
Snatch it, Brian. Snatch it.
You fumbled it! Alright, drop right here.
Okay, that's...
Get it. That's unfair. Focus! Grab the ball out of my hand. Damn, fucking fast. John Wick. Wow,
he's athletic.
Grab it.
Grab what?
It's like a sex scene.
The ball.
Well, if you put it in my hand, we can get this done faster.
Get a line!
Yeah, fucking shit.
Just leave him alone!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! He killed the ball!
Get back in the line! Next!
Fuck, he's strong. Damn, Dill, you look like a bitch.
Get back in the line! I can tell you guys are professionals.
Thanks.
Professionals at drinking.
Yeah, you guys contain yourself very well.
Tell me about it.
And that last test we're doing is the memory test. Oh, shit. Dreamy eyes. Step forward.
Everybody turn around.
Everyone else, turn around.
Wait, I don't know exactly what to do yet.
No, that's all right.
Officer, I think I dropped something.
Officer, me too. I think I dropped something really far.
I don't know where it's at.
If you were playing along in the beginning and you remember, I touched parts of my person. I need you to do that. Go.
I like your gut.
All you guys got it wrong except one. And that one person who finished it flawlessly is this guy.
I told you.
Step up, sir.
Hey, comfortability.
Because he only had 3 white
This guy
claws.
right
All of us
here
had
is
4.
the one that did it. And all you guys got it wrong.
What?
High five.
You have to pick who you think is a sober one.
And it's really just one?
Yep.
God damn. All right, I might be wrong, but I'm going with Dreamy Eyes.
As sober?
Sober, yes. All right. Yes, but
They look like the
damn it, I feel a connection with you.
I do too. We should hang out after this.
I'm going with Dreamy Eyes.
All right. Now, will the real sober person step forward? Let's go!
No way! No way! Are you serious? Wait a minute, are you serious? Oh shit!
I have feelings for Ken. I've got to tell him.
Preminger, you have what? TBH, I always knew he was gay. The first minute of Princess and the popper is proof. Also, my brother fixed the text-to-speech, so yay.
Okay, I'll get myself ready and then go do it.
Hopefully Ken likes you better than Barbie did. OMG, they're literally both so fruity.
I'll give you a plastic trophy if you go out with me.
Bro, you're not meant to tell him it's plastic.
Hold on a minute.
Mina. Girl, did you get over Lady D that quickly? You broke up yesterday.
Nobody loves you more than me.
No way. I love you the most.
Hold on a minute.
What the? Peta. Girl, you are too good for these people. Run while you still can.
I love you more.
No, no.
No, no. Who do you choose, Ken?
Ken is also fruity. Google magic earring Ken, but he still likes women. Either way, Mina is a no-go.
Premature. Sometimes you feel the same way.
Wow.
The girl, I would yoke you up by my best friend. I'm trying. Yeah.
This is my mom.
I don't care. That's my best friend. I knew her before you. Yeah, we 25 years locked in, period. Say something I don't like so I can knock you out that chair.
I'm not about to say anything till you listen.
I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
Yo, I just woke up. What the fuck? Who did my shit in my sleep? God damn! I'm being so dead serious. Bruh, I don't even got curly hair. How the fuck?
Alright guys, I'm here to give y'all the real tea on tea. Too often do I come up on this app just to see an unexpected changes I experience on tea video just for them to say the exact same thing as the last one. However, I'm gonna get down to the nitty gritty, the weird shit that nobody talks about. Now here's your disclaimer. If you are a person that knows me in real life and will not be personally benefited by learning this information, please scroll away. Okay, so we're gonna start off tame. First off, spice tolerance goes up. And I'm talking, I had a non-existent spice tolerance. Growing up, I literally thought pepper was spicy, okay? So this was shocking. A lot of people know that your scent intensifies, but they do not clarify that it changes to smelling like dick and balls. A lot of people mention their hair texture up here changing, but not down there, and that is something that can happen. At least I think that happened. In my experience, lip color does match tip color. Try not to stare at my lips for the remainder of this video. A lot of these are not safe for work. This one I haven't heard anyone talk about. My nip knobs have gotten more sensitive. Testosterone is known for increasing libido, but honest to God, I feel like my dick just doesn't work sometimes. Take that one with a grain of salt though, because I am on the A spectrum. On that note, you know when cis guys are having fun and they curl their toes? I didn't know why that was until I started testosterone. You can feel it in your feet. It travels from like down your leg into your feet. It feels like a wire of like weird ticklish electricity. A little context for this next one, I don't cry, I barely ever tear up, but since testosterone, which you would expect the opposite effect, but no, since testosterone, I feel like I am more prone to being emotional and tearful. Although the principle of being on testosterone has bolstered my confidence, it hasn't directly, like mentally, chemically made me more confident. It has, however, made the words that come up in my mind, and I'm someone who usually holds his tongue, despite all the things swimming around in here, it has made those words bang on my mouth to come out, no matter how irrelevant or insignificant the statement or observation is. When I tell you I have to fight to hold my tongue, I'm being so deadass. Tea has also made me significantly care less about getting hurt and being hurt. I wouldn't say that my pain tolerance has gone up, I just don't care about being in a hurt physical condition anymore. Now, am I punching walls? No. But if I get scratched up or I screw up my toe or my foot or something, I just don't care about it. Another popularly mentioned one is meat cravings, but I'm talking specifically about the gas station Slim Jims. Something about that crunch into a so overly processed salty meat stick just hits the spot. Feel free to share your weird experiences or ask more about mine in the comments.